Hello students, today we will be looking at some examples on scales and maps. So here we go. Example 1. Given that the scale of a map is 1 centimeter to 25 kilometers, express it in the following forms. So in part A, they want us to express it in terms of a ratio, and in part B as a fraction. So let us begin by expressing it as a ratio. Now, in order to express it as a proper ratio, we need to make sure that there is no units. So how do we actually eliminate units from our comparison? The first thing we are going to do is to change the values that's given to us so that they are of the same units. My recommendation is to convert kilometers into centimeters over here. So by converting them, we have 1 centimeter to 250,000 centimeters. It is important to get the number of zeros correct. If not, your answer will not be accurate, right? So finally, once that we manage to obtain the same units, we can rewrite it in its final form without the units. So 1 is to 250,000. In part B, we are tasked to actually express the scale in the terms of a fraction. Simple enough, just write it in this manner: 1 over 250,000. Let us move on to the next example. Example 2, we are given the scale of a map 1 over 15,000. Find the distance represented on the map for the following. So we are told 750 meters as well as 3.9 kilometers. So let's look at part A. Well, what we can do is we can actually express it as a ratio. As we know, we can actually express scale in either fraction or ratio. Putting in ratio form allows us to make a very easy direct comparison. So the actual to map, the scale will go 15,000 to 1. Now, we want 750 meters, right? So how do we do that? Let us first insert the units. So we have 15,000 centimeter to 1 centimeter. We can then convert 15,000 centimeters to meters. So that will give us 150 meters to 1 centimeter. Finally, we want 750 meters. So 750 meters will give us 5 centimeters because 750 is 5 times of 150. Therefore, we multiply by 5. Finally, because what we have right now is a ratio, the answer actually asks for the distance. So let's offer some context in our final presentation. The distance is actually 5 centimeters. Let us move on to part B. Using the same concept, now we can actually begin with actual to map 150 meters to 1 centimeter. We do not always need to begin from the scale. We can actually use any one of the comparison or ratio, equivalence ratio from part A. So from here, we are going to convert 150 meters to kilometers. That will be 0.15 kilometers to 1 centimeter. Finally, we obtain 3.9 kilometers, right? So 3.9 divided by 0.15 multiply by 1, that gives us 26 centimeter. Finally, do not forget to offer some context in our final presentation. The distance is 26 centimeters. All right, let's move on to example 3. In example 3, we are given the scale of a map. 1 is to 35,000. This time round, we are trying to compare area on the map as well as actual area. So how do we do that? Let us watch this, right? First, we start with the scale, right? We will have 1 is to 35,000, right? Then the next logical step is to insert our units. So 1 centimeter is to 35,000 centimeters. Now, since the map is in centimeter and the actual length and area is in kilometers, let us convert to the appropriate units. So 1 centimeter is to 0.35 kilometers. Next, in order to obtain the comparison for area, we need to square, right, both the values for map as well as the values for the actual object, in this case actual area, right? So 1 centimeter, we square it, we have 1 square centimeter. 0.35 kilometer, we square it, and we will have 0.1225 square kilometers. So we just need to square the entire ratio, right? After that, we want 12 square centimeters, so multiply by 12. We have 1.47 square kilometers. And do not forget, of course, to offer your final context. Actual area, 1.47 square kilometers. Now the same process can be done for part B, right? So part B, this time round, I'm going to just flip things around. And actual to map, we already have the comparison for area. So 0.1225 square kilometers is to 1 square centimeter, right? So if we want to get 28 square kilometers, we just go 28 divide by 0.1225 times 1. We have 228.57 square centimeters. Now this answer is not exact. That's why in our final solution, final presentation, let us offer map area to 229 square centimeters corrected to 3 significant figures, right? We are reminded to actually offer our final solution rounded off to 3 significant figures if the answer is not exact. Right, example 4. Example 4, we are given on a certain map, okay, the scale is 2 centimeters representing 5 kilometers. So they want us to write it in the standard ratio form for part A as well as the fraction form in part B. So we have map to actual 2 centimeters to 5 kilometers. To write them in the forms that is required, we need them to be in the same units. So 2 centimeter is to 500,000 centimeters. After that, we can divide by 2 centimeters on both sides of the ratio. We have 1 is to 250000. For part B, it's just rewriting it in the form of a fraction. So it is 1 over 250000. Now for part C, what it does is that they tell us that there's 2 police stations. On the map, they are 6.6 centimeters apart. So how far are they apart in the actual reality? So we can do this. Map to actual, 2 centimeter to 5 kilometers. So 6.6 centimeter, well, just take 6.6, divide by 2 times 5, that gives us 16.5 kilometers. After that, let us offer the context as well. Actual distance is 16.5 kilometers. Part D, now there's 2 libraries on the map. We want to know how far they are on the map when they are actually 9 kilometers apart on the ground. So let's flip the comparison. So actual to map, 5 kilometers is to 2 centimeter. 9 kilometers, right? So we just take 9 divided by 5 times 2. We get 3.6 centimeters. After that, don't forget to give your final statement or context. Map distance, 3.6 centimeters. Alright, let us move on to example 5. Example 5, now we are told that the scale of a map is 1 is to 40,000. So part A, we are told if a road is represented in 2.5 centimeter on the map, find the actual length in kilometers. So same process, let's list out the ratio. Map to actual, 1 is to 40,000. Insert the units. In this case, I recommend putting centimeter. Then we want to convert 40,000 centimeters to kilometers. That gives us 0.4 kilometers, so that we have a comparison from centimeters to kilometers. Finally, 2.5 centimeter, right? Multiply by 2.5, so we have 1 kilometers. So 0.4 multiplied with 2.5. Finally, give the context. Actual length, 1 kilometers. Part B, now we are comparing area, right? So if the actual area of a plot of land is 0.5 square kilometers, find the area on the map in square centimeters. So actual to map, this is the scale that we know. 1 kilometer is represented by 2.5 centimeters. In terms of area, let us square it. So 1 square is 1. So 1 square kilometers. 2.5 square is 6.25. Therefore, 6.25 square centimeters. Dividing both sides of the ratio by 2, we have 0.5 square kilometers represented by 3.125 square centimeter. Finally, your statement or context. Map area, 3.125 square centimeters. Example 6. Example 6, the actual area of a pond is given as 16 square kilometers and is represented on map A by area of 400 square centimeters. So in part A, they want us to actually write out the proper scale for map A. We can do that. So map A to actual, we know that 400 square centimeter is to 16 square kilometers. Now if we want to write it in terms of the scale, we need them to be comparing the length. So I need to square root the ratio. So square root of 400 is 20. So 20 centimeter. Square root of 16 is 4. So 4 kilometers. Now after that, we want them to be in the same unit. So 4 kilometers is converted into 400,000 centimeters. Dividing both sides of the ratio by 20 centimeters, we have 1:20,000. Now, notice that the question did not actually ask us to write down the scale. The question asked us to find the value of K. So one final procedure, K equals to 20,000. Write it down, present it clearly. Now part B, this time round we are told that the distance between two locations on the map A is 8.6 centimeter. Find the distance of the same two locations on map B with a different scale now, 1 centimeter to 0.4 kilometers. So what's happening now? There are two maps here, map A and map B. So in order to actually get a proper comparison between map A and map B, we need to actually compare map A to actual and then actual to map B. So map A to actual, we know from the part A of the question, there's 20 centimeters representing 4 kilometers. So 8.6 centimeter, which is the distance between the two locations on map A, it represents 1.72 kilometers. How do I do that? Well, take out our calculators. 8.6 divided by 20 times 4, that will give us 1.72 kilometers. Now that we know that the actual distance is 1.72 kilometers, let's bring this information into map B. So actual to map B, the scale that's given is 0.4 kilometers is to 1 centimeter. So 1.72 kilometers, so we take 1.72 divided by 0.4 times 1, that gives us 4.3 centimeter. So for what happened is that there are two locations, their actual distance is 1.72 kilometers. Distance in between these two locations on map A is 8.6 centimeter, on map B is 4.3. So final statement, let's present it clearly. Distance on map B is 4.3 centimeter. So part C, they want us to state which map has a longer map distance. Well, we know that map A is 8.6 centimeter, map B is 4.3 centimeter. So since 8.6 is greater than 4.3, map A has a longer map distance. Have a nice day.